Hello and welcome to another video with me, Andrea, and potentially the goose will come and join it. Today's topic is, again, dietary based. This is an ethical lifestyle, but how are we going to build the movement if people think that if the diet aspect of the lifestyle is not, gonna meet their needs and their child's needs? And right now I'm really hyper focused on, nutrition and showing people, especially parents, that their kid can get enough from a plant-based diet. So even if they're not interested in the ethical lifestyle or the compassionate lifestyle, they might be interested in the health benefits of a plant-based diet, and this might help them. So first thing we're going to discuss is the fact that last Cronometer video I did, while I still stand by the fact that that was a great nutritional day for any toddler, and she still met a huge portion of her nutritional needs from that day, it was brought to my attention that the Cronometer settings, despite me putting in her exact age, weight, height, and sex, were not in line with what the recommended daily amounts are according to other dietary guides. So, for example, the protein was a little bit lower, a few grams lower on Cronometer versus what I've read, and the most significant difference was in potassium, and it was like a big difference. So in my last video, it said she met her daily recommended amount for potassium. She didn't, but she met maybe like 60%. And that's something we're going to discuss in this video. We're going to discuss, some nutrients that, people think you can't get from plant-based sources. And we're going to discuss ones that are truly more difficult to get, and do a little bit of reading. First things first, we're going to look at what I fed her today. Just quickly, a very convenient eating day. So I thought I'd use this because it wasn't, anything fancy. So for breakfast, I pan fried her some tofu and olive oil and made her an English muffin with some melt organic buttery spread. It's obviously a vegan buttery spread. And that was her breakfast. And for lunch, she had one golden fishless fillet from Gardein and half a cup of peas. And then for her snacks today, she had some Mary's Super Seed crackers with Sabra hummus, a half apple, half a banana, some strawberries, and a half a chocolate soy beverage, like a little to-go container. And her dinner was half a cup of broccoli and half a large baked potato, and then she actually had some Lay's potato chips. So it was kind of like a lazy, weird dinner. My partner was away, so I was like really relying on like pre-made foods. Like almost all of this is either like a fresh fruit, a pre-made food, or a frozen vegetable. So very little work was put into today's day, but you got to do what you got to do. So here we go, met her needs in energy, and pretty good day in terms of fiber, iron, calcium, all the big ones. But let's go down to potassium, 61%, and we can see that she got most of that from potato, which is a good source. So let's jump into potassium foods, and why I gave her that potato today is because I've been researching plant-based potassium sources, and I saw that a potato was a great source of potassium. I also read that you need to bake the potato. If you boil the potato, you're going to lose a huge portion of that potassium. Good to know, right? So here's a list of some great plant potassiums, and then some like obviously disgusting secretions meant for infant non-human mammals, which you are not. So don't consume it. But all the other ones are some really good things to keep in mind. So maybe incorporate these things into your child's diet so that you're going to be meeting, a good portion of those potassium needs. And I am definitely going to be looking more into incorporating these higher potassium foods. And some of them are obvious ones that are already in our diet. She already does eat a good portion of baked potatoes and avocado. She loves soybeans. So great. Some other sources, some other things that, might be difficult to get from plants. Omega-3s, which typically non-vegans get from eating fish corpses. Disgusting. What are some sources for this? Okay, so edamame, walnuts, flaxseed. Let's discuss chia seeds. A lot of vegans think that you can get your omega-3s from chia seeds. There is a ton of research to show that if you're eating whole chia seeds, you are getting like no omega-3 benefits from it. Grind up your chia seeds. Whole chia seeds are basically just eating fiber. Fiber's great, but your vegan kid is probably getting enough of it anyway. Flax, and ground flax specifically, is a way better source of omega-3s, and I think you should replace, if you're looking for omega-3s in your kid's diet, flax it up. Flax eggs versus chia eggs. That's my recommendation there. And this video, which I'm not going to play, is a video that, goes through some of the research on chia seeds and how the benefits that have been, spread around about weight loss and omega-3 benefits have been a lot of the times funded by chia companies. So this, narrative of research needing to look into funding, it's not just when we look into, these dairy and egg and meat industries. We, even benefits of plant foods can be misconstrued and, poorly researched because they're funded by companies that sell superfood. Okay, so the next we're going to discuss is zinc. And, we can go into Everest's day and see that she got a good portion of her zinc from her English muffin today, and some tofu, and obviously the soy. But let's look into zinc in general. So I like this website because Ginny is a registered dietitian, and I really believe registered dietitians are where you should be sourcing your nutritional information from. And she discusses, that she, based off of research, there's evidence that vegans don't get enough of their zinc and should increase their food consumption with high zinc sources, specifically because we might not absorb it the same way. So let's look into some high zinc foods: nuts, beans, grains. So obviously that English muffin was good. Leafy greens are just awesome for almost everything. So get in your leafy greens, people, if you can. But it's important. It's in a very important mineral, right? It's a mineral. Just go double check. I'm pretty sure I know it's a mineral, but no, it's a metal. Trace elements. Yeah, trace element, whatever that means. Like, I'm not a dietitian, so I don't know. I should always preface my, like, say that in my videos. This is all information I'm just getting as a parent, the same way a lot of other people do. But in here she says, there's no evidence that vegans suffer from deficiency, but it's needed for the body for more than 50 different enzymes, which means that a lot of physiological processes depend on zinc. And since zinc status is hard to measure, there are concerns that some people could have a chronic marginal deficiency that goes undetected and has subtle effects. So she's in favor of a conservative approach and consuming a few extra milligrams of zinc. So that's something to keep in mind for our kids' nutrition. So in terms of other things that are a little bit more difficult, I would mention DHA, which we supplement with algae oil, and vitamin D, which we also supplement with a drop occasionally throughout the summer, but more frequently throughout the winters, because the other source is the sun, and of course, like fortified cow's milk, but barf. So that's what I wanted to mention today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions about anything or comments, please feel free to ask. I hope you have a great day. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.